Well, he's an up-and-comer in the Friesen Performance IMC Northern Sport Mod ranks. He hails from Oakley, California. We're here to talk to him. We're talking about Jason Ryan Jr. driving the 52 entry, a big win at Ocean Speedway in Watsonville last Friday, and a strong performance the next night at Thunderbolt Raceway in Tulare, where he competed against the Central California Clash. That's coming up on the Beyond the Flags podcast. But before we get to the interview, make sure wherever you're listening or watching from, you hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future episodes. Well, we're back here with the Beyond the Flags podcast. Jason Ryan Jr. out of Oakley, California with us, piloting the Friesen Performance IMC Northern Sport Mod number 52. And Jason, big weekend for you. Had a decent outing. Got fifth with the Central California Clash at Thunderbolt. But important of all, Friday night, Ocean Speedway in Watsonville, got yourself a W and got a trophy.
Yeah, we started off the weekend pretty good, made a late decision to go down to Watsonville. I think we left about 3 o'clock, and it's a 3-hour drive to get there, so we missed mud packing and hot laps. Got out there, won the heat race, won the main event, and took it out to Tulare and won the heat race there. And then we had a bad start and got caught up in something, and for some reason my headset wasn't working, so we had to start 14th. I didn't hear that everyone was telling us to line back up, but made our way back up to 5th, and that's where we finished.
Yeah, I ended up getting the lead Friday night, right around, I think, about lap 8 or so. Yeah, just had a really good car. I mean, Chuck Golden led some laps there, state point leader going into the weekend. And just consistently overall, you guys have been really good this year, really solid finishes. 8 features, 8 top 10s. You've been perfect there. 7 top 5s. I mean, not too much to complain about, I'm sure.
No, yeah, it's been a really good year. We had Vince McCriff helping us out a lot last year. Car was really good running for state, running against Trevor Klimans, and he started helping, Kenny a lot, and I needed a little more help, a little extra drive, so we went the Kellen Chadwick way this year, and car's really good. We're just starting to figure it out. I think we're in the right direction.
Well, I was just looking, too, just skimming through everything, tied with Kenny Schrader for points at Antioch Speedway. Antioch, it's definitely been a breeding ground and some really good drivers lately.
Oh, yeah, it's always hard racing against Kenny and racing against Fred Ryland. They're two of the top guys out of Antioch for sure, and we just try our best, try to get good finishes.
And how tough is it, Thunderbolt Raceway, right? That's pretty much the only time that sport mods are there. And,
yeah.
You race there once, and then you got to wait pretty much a whole year to go back there again. For you, that racetrack and your driving style, there's some parts of it kind of reminds me of Antioch a little bit, I guess, but it's also its own animal.
Oh, for sure. It's, the long straightaways and the turns, I mean, they're also long, so you just got to kind of get up on the wheel and let the car eat a little bit. But it's definitely a change from Antioch.
Yeah, yes, most definitely. And, of course, Ocean is a complete 180 to Antioch with just how you got to drive and everything.
Definitely, I think it helps a lot running all these different tracks and getting a lot of seat time and, just trying to find out what changes work for what tracks, and it's just all a gamble. I mean, when you're going out there, you don't know what exactly the car is going to do on what track condition, but it's definitely fun learning all these different tracks.
No doubt. Well, talking about you and your racing career, first time I met you actually was last year during the Central California Clash when it was a speed week, not a once a month or, couple races a month, a series, a little bit of a different format. I met you at Antioch. When did things kind of get off for you as far as deciding to become a driver? I guess, what was the first exposure to racing?
Well, my dad started racing when I was 2 years old and my sister was 5 years old, so that's where the 52 came from.
Okay.
But I started racing about 4 years ago, and my rookie year I wasn't really good at all. And then my second year I ended up meeting Kenny Schrader, and he introduced me to Vince, which started to put us in the right direction. And then last year I bought a GRT from Aaron Crow, and Vince helped me the whole year and got the car really good, and I did a lot of seat time running for state, and I mean, it really just jumped off then. Speed Week, it really helped me out with all the seat time, racing a different track every day. and I actually got my first win right after Speed Week at Antioch.
Well, basically evidence right there that all the hard work was paying dividends.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I wish they were still doing Speed Week because, like I said, it's a challenge. It's fun. You get a lot of seat time. You can learn the car. I hope they might go back to that probably next year. But, the Tour, it's still fun, but it's not the same.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, because it's all sorts of tracks. You got Antioch, right, which is a unique racetrack. Then you go to Merced, which is a quarter mile. You go from a 3/8 to a quarter mile. Then Kings, then Tulare, then Bakersfield, and it's night after night. I mean, and just the amount of work that you guys put in, and some guys go to work. They're 9 to 5, and then they try and get off early so that they can go to the next race. It's really remarkable, and it shows you just the different types of racetracks that California has to offer, which is a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I hope they go back to Speed Week because it's definitely a challenge. And some of these guys, I don't know how they do it. Like you said, going to work and then going racing. I mean, I did a lot of it last year, and it's hard. It's a struggle.
Or rebuilding a race car like till 3 a.m. and then going to work and then getting off. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what adrenaline and passion does.
Oh, definitely.
Well, and it'd be really cool too. I mean, I know as much as you as far as what's going to happen next year, but it was really cool to see in years past, like Chico thrown into the mix, Placerville, and Petaluma too, because it incorporated. I know it's called the Central California Clash, but it really incorporated the whole shebang as far. But you guys go to Marysville this year in a couple weeks in July. That should be pretty cool.
Yeah, we also run they added Petaluma, so I'm looking forward to run that.
Yeah, that's right. That I just meant in the sense of like a speed week, going end to end.
Oh yeah,
because Petaluma had been there before, Placerville had been there before, and also Silver Dollar one time. But yeah, no, the Adobe Clay of the North Bay, Petaluma Speedway. That one should be fun.
Yeah, I haven't got the chance to run there, so we'll see how we do. I heard it's pretty hammered down.
It can be. It can be fun. It can be fun. It can be, but what one person's fun can be another person's nightmare. So
definitely.
So and you've always raced in sport mods, or did you start out in hobby stocks?
I ran one race when I was like 16 years old in a hobby stock, and I didn't finish the main or nothing, and then I didn't race until I bought a sport mod about 4 years ago, and I've just been driving that ever since.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, it's a challenging class, and there's a lot of good talent. You hear a lot of people say, oh, going down in sport mods, and I look at it as parallel moves. It's like you're going over to sport mods because there's some really good guys, and I'm going to get on a soapbox a little bit, but like the guys in Iowa, like Jake Sacco and Colby Fett and some of those guys, Matthew Loaf, they are fast, and it's really cool to see them transition to the stock cars, and it's showing why those guys are fast. And for California, you got a good pedigree of guys that have ran sport mods and then transitioned to the modifieds. I mean, Ethan Dodson, he's a Super Nationals champion. Fred Ryland, who you race against a lot, right in your backyard. That's a fast cat, and there's just countless others where it's like, these guys aren't just a bunch of rooks and old guys. Like, these guys are really fast.
Yeah, I think you got, your best drivers in each class, definitely. I mean, I race against Tyler Bannister or Jason Bannister or Fred or, Nick Spain Howard or just Kenny Schrader, Fred Ryland. Any of those guys, they're all going to be fast on any day, any track. And I think it's the same as stock cars or A-mods. I'm sure, A-mod drivers are definitely better, but you got your best guys in every class for sure.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you bring up, the Bannisters because, Tyler Bannister is amazing, and then Ryan Peary, from right up on the border, he's a cat to always look up for. I mean, it's cool to see, and this is what's cool about Speed Week too. Like we have one up here with the Wild West Speed Week, is you go to a different racetrack and you have guys that run Merced. Maybe that's all they run, or they might come over to Antioch every now and then you've got your Antioch guys that run maybe just not really outside the area. They might go to Ocean once or twice. Then you get in the Central Valley, like Kings and Tulare. They don't have very many sport mod races, but there's a lot of guys that come up from Bakersfield, and there's a good pocket there. And it's really cool how it sort of just matches things up of you get a guy that just runs once, but he's really good. That's his really strong track. I mean, there was one year, the first year, Garrett Jernigan won all but one race. So, I mean, the domination can happen, but it's just really cool to see how the travelers stack up against the locals and the kind of the regional competitors.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tyler Bannister is definitely dominating us right now, and he wins almost every race we do, but it's still fun racing against him because you're like, hey, what if I beat him this track, or what if I beat him this race? It's always a challenge racing against guys like that, and you see how they drive, and you can kind of follow them or learn from them, and it's just fun.
Are you looking to find that adrenaline rush, but you can't because you're not at the racetrack? Well, check out the IMCA TV Replay subscription library to have access to thousands of hours of racing for just $24.99 a month. Relive all the moments of the Speedway Motors IMCA Super Nationals fueled by Casey's at Boone Speedway, the Harris Clash at Deer Creek Speedway in Spring Valley, Minnesota, the IMCA TV Winter Nationals at Cocopah Speedway in Somerton, Arizona, Florida's Clash on the Coast, and dozens of Speedway Motors IMCA weekly racing program racetracks from across the nation, as well as the IMCA TV Dirtcast podcast. Plus, 25% of that $24.99 monthly fee goes towards the Drivers Point Fund and is a great way to help out your local racers. In 2023, over $97,000 was paid out to IMCA drivers directly at over 50 racetracks across the country. Please note that live broadcasts are not part of the replay subscription. That's IMCA TV. IMCA TV, where America comes to watch racing. So I always like to know how people's numbers started, and you actually answered the question earlier. It was because your dad and your sister, right? At the age you were when they started racing.
I was 2 years old, and my sister was 5 years old. So my dad was 50.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's why I re-asked the questions. But
yeah, I just kind of stuck with it.
And it could have been 25, right? But you decided to be nice and put your sister in front.
Yeah, and now my number is actually a big 5 and a little 2. So.
Well, at least they're not calling you 5 squared or anything. So all those engineer guys are mathematicians.
Some people think I'm the 5 car, but hey.
Well, I mean, it's easy to miss sometimes because Ethan Dotson was it 174, but then it the 1 was really smaller, the 1 was really big, and the additional digits were smaller and things. So Tyler Bannister's same deal. They think he's the number 1 car.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But Oakley, California. I've actually stayed there before last year, and I got to spend some time a lot in the East Bay Delta area. For you and your family, what are some cool things that you guys like to do when not working on race cars, when not racing?
I mean, normally it's really just racing for me, but sometimes I'll go out on the Delta with my buddy Tyler Brown and go out on his boat and just enjoy the weather. But I mean, mainly it's racing every weekend.
Sure. Well, I talked about this with Kellen Chadwick. I remember a couple years ago, Carl Berenson making everybody slightly jealous with having a nice boat like in the Discovery Bay area and just gorgeous on the water. I mean, you got all these, nice posh houses everywhere. It looks like a super cool place to visit.
It's definitely nice out here. It's a little boring, not much to do, but it's definitely a nice area. And like I say, you can go out on the water or we could go racing.
Sure. And it's not too far from the city for big events like concerts or sporting events or things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Not too far.
Yeah. And then 2024, obviously Antioch Speedway, primarily racing there. Do you guys have any plans to be traveling about anywhere throughout the state, or maybe try and make a trip back to the Speedway Motors IMCA Super Nationals fueled by Casey's or IMCA TV Winter Nationals down the pipeline?
Kind of just racing as I can right now, and Antioch's definitely a priority, but, if I have a day off, I'll go down to Ocean or I'll go to Marysville or, whatever's racing that day, but, I just kind of seeing where it goes. We're definitely running the tour as of right now, so we'll get to enjoy that a little bit. But yeah, it's just primary Antioch.
Yeah, yeah. And as said, busy swing coming up the 29th of June, Petaluma, and July 6th at Marysville. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how that kind of pans out because I think there might be a little bit of shuffling happening.
Yeah, hopefully, we could get a good fill draw for Petaluma and see how that goes. But we race the next 3 weekends, I think, in a row because we got Antioch, and then the tour race. Kind of booked up for this month.
No doubt, especially during that spring, it seemed like the spring came late. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it seemed like it was kind of a dry winter sort of in California, and then all of a sudden rain came kind of out of nowhere, and it didn't stop for a while.
Yeah, it just, race after race is just getting canceled. And, I think the first race I was able to do wasn't even Antioch, if I remember correctly. I think I might have went down to Marysville.
Yeah, well, and what was really interesting is, I do Red Bluff in the wintertime, is I'd go over the Siskiyous, and the 22-23 winter, I'd have to say more times than not, like, it was kind of sketchy with snow, lots of snow on the actual interstate, and there was a closure a couple of times and stuff. And then this year, like, I only saw snow like maybe a couple of times, and that was later in the year, like later in the winter of the 23-24 winter, like, I don't know, late February, early March, like nothing really threatening. And then all of a sudden, just the rain came and just didn't want to seem to stop. But it was a lot less, it seemed like, than last year, because last year snowed a lot and then it rained a lot too, up until May. Like, there was that atmospheric river. That was a new term that I learned last year.
Yeah, it was really weird. It would be completely sunny the whole week, and then it would rain Saturday. So the races just kept getting canceled, even though it was sunny the whole week.
Yes. Well, and you guys get some unique weather kind of where you're at in the Oakley, Antioch area, because it can get like San Francisco, right? It, like, nobody owns an air conditioner. It's constantly cool there, even in August and July. But like in Antioch, like, I've been down there and it can get scorching hot, almost like Central Valley hot.
Yeah, it could definitely get hot down here. I mean, it was, we went up to Tulare and it was like 98 up there, but sometimes it gets like that down here, but not too often.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, well, like, I think they had a sprint car race. I think it even was last year, like, Independence Day weekend, somewhere around there, and it was like pushing triple digits. And but when the breeze is there from off of the ocean, which isn't too far away, that definitely helps.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy racing Ocean Speedway because it's never hot down there.
Yes, I went there last year for the first time, and where I was staying was in Gilroy, and it was like Friday night, getting ready to head to the track. In Gilroy, it said it was like 95 degrees or something, and we're talking like 10 a.m. in like last weekend of July. So it's that time of the year. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, they were predicting like mid 60s in Ocean at Watsonville. There's no way. And then you just go a couple miles up and over the hill, and it's just click, something different.
Oh yeah, right when you get over that mountain, it's instantly cold.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were complaining about like 80-degree weather last year at some of their races. So
that sounds about right.
Sounds pretty miserable. So, but well, it's been great to catch up with you. Great to learn about your journey further and everything, Jason. I know that there's a lot of people that help everything make possible. You mentioned some folks, but you're more than welcome to mention them again. But I know that you've also got some great sponsors that help you out too.
Yeah, I know. I just got to thank my wife. She helps with the car a lot. She owns a company, Hair by Jaylene, Quaylo's Body Repair, Next Level Solution, Kellen Chadwick. He's been doing a lot of work on the car this year, setting it up. I can't thank Vince enough. He's Big by Vince. He also helps with the car. Green Top Electric, Elite Scaffold, 1-2 Wraps, the Pit Stop, Delta Driveline. There's a lot of sponsors, a lot of people that help me. Scott and Jess Foster, Rob Waltrip, my cousin Jeff. I couldn't do any of this without them. My parents definitely been a journey.
Well, and I always like to ask this question because I know how important it is. Apparel, is there a current apparel run for you that folks can maybe message you or message your team page or visit you at the racetrack to help support you in that way?
I still have quite a bit of shirts from last year, but I haven't ordered anything for this year's car wrap yet.
Okay, and best way is just to send you a private message, or do you got a team page, or just meet you at the track?
Yeah, you can just message me on Facebook or at the track. I don't have no page or nothing like that.
Okay. Well, awesome. It's great to hear how well 2024 has started out for you guys, and I'm really excited to follow the journey along to see how it's going to finish. It looks like promising things are happening, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, man. It was nice talking with you.
Well, race fans, that does it for this interview. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you continue to enjoy these upcoming interviews. We appreciate it if you would like and subscribe wherever you're listening, whether it's on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever it's at. Give us a like and give us a subscription so that we can deliver more of these great interviews to you for your listening pleasure. In the meantime, wherever we're at, wherever you're listening, we hope you have a great rest of your day and a pleasant evening, and we will see you soon here at Highside Racing Promotions. Before we let everybody go, here's the upcoming schedule on IMCA TV of live pay-per-view events. Kicking the week off will be the Monday Madness on the 10th of June at Independence Motor Speedway in Iowa. On Wednesday, June 12th, Buena Vista Raceway in Alta, Iowa, and Stuart International Speedway in Iowa will be on hand for 2 races. Thursday, June 13th, Algona, Iowa's Kossuth County Speedway will be the only race on the card for IMCA TV. Friday, June 14th, will feature Iowa's Davenport Speedway, Dakota Speedway in Mandan, North Dakota, Beatrice Speedway in Nebraska, Slayton, Minnesota's Murray County Speedway, Black Hills Speedway in Rapid City, South Dakota, Dusa Club's Thunder Raceway in Sholo, Arizona, and California's Wairika Speedway. A full helping of racing action will be on tap for June 15th, Saturday night, with Crystal Motor Speedway in Michigan, Iowa's tracks at Makokata Speedway and Boone Speedway, Eagle Raceway in Nebraska, Southern Oklahoma Speedway in Ardmore, Electric City Speedway in Great Falls, Montana, Cottage Grove Speedway in Oregon, couple of races in California, Bakersfield Speedway, Wairika Speedway, and Marysville Raceway. Also on Saturday, Dusa Club's Thunder Raceway in Sholo, Arizona. The lineup for Sunday, June 16th, Interstate Speedway in Jefferson, South Dakota, Dubuque Fairgrounds Speedway in Iowa, Benton County Speedway in Vinton, Iowa, Buffalo River Speedway in Glendon, Minnesota, Minot, North Dakota's Nodak Speedway, and Southern Oregon Speedway in White City, Oregon. Monday, June 17th, will feature Coos Bay Speedway in Coos Bay, Oregon, and Tuesday night, the Douglas County Dirt Track in Roseburg, Oregon.